Hey guys, what's going on? It's Billy here from the best place to buy gold online. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you again about another common myth about gold. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and check out my website goldfinancial.de. Get you over there and start acquiring small amounts of gold bullion. So, myth number 4, gold caused the Great Depression. Actually, this is definitely not true at all. The Great Depression was actually caused by incompetent discretionary monetary policy, and that was conducted by the US Fed from 1927 to 1931. A fact that has been documented by a long line of monetary scholars, including Anna Schwartz, Milton Freidman, and more recently Ben Bernanke. The Great Depression was then prolonged by experimental policies and interventions by Herbert Hoover and Franklin Roosevelt. These experiments gave rise to the scholar Charles Kinderberger and obviously regime uncertainty, which meant that large corporations and wealthy individuals refused to obviously commit capital because they were uncertain about regulatory, tax and labour policy costs. So obviously capital went to the sidelines and growth weakened. Ben Bernanke's own research shows that in no time during the Great Depression was the money supply ever constrained by the gold supply. The law then allowed the Fed to create money up to 250% of the value of gold held by the Fed, and the actual money supply never even exceeded 100% of the value of the gold supply. This means that the money supply could have more than doubled without gold acting as a restraint. The problem with money supply growth though was not gold. It was in fact that customers did not want to borrow and banks did not want to lend. It was a bank credit and consumer confidence problem, not a problem with gold. So on an international side, Barry Eichengreen has pointed out the countries that devalued their currency against gold: France in 1925, the United Kingdom in 1931, and the United States in 1933. And France and the UK together, again in 1936, received immediate economic benefit for increased exports. It is true that devaluing countries received short-term benefits. Still, the world as a whole did not. France's benefit in 1925 came at the UK's expense. The UK's benefit in 1931 came at the expense of the US, and the benefit that came in 1933 to the United States came to the expense of France and the United Kingdom. So Eichengreen's otherwise brilliant scholarship suffers from what Keynes, John Maynard Keynes that is, called the fallacy of composition, which means what is good for an individual is not necessarily good for a collection of individuals. One person standing on a chair at a crowded rock concert, for example, may get that person a better view. But if everyone decides they're going to stand on their chairs, then almost no one can see the show. The sequence of devaluations of currencies against gold from 1925 to 1936 shows the notorious bigger than thy neighbour currency war dynamic. The most crux of the decision from England to return to gold in 1925 at £4.25 an ounce, the pre-World War I parity, because Great Britain had doubled its money supply between 1914 and 1925. Obviously, mostly to finance the war. A return to the old parity actually meant that the money supply had to be cut in half, hence the reason why you had this deflationary depression. This policy was obviously highly deflationary. The overvalued pound sterling gave France a trading advantage from 1925 to 1931. So when Britain finally broke the old parity, the 1931 devaluation gave Britain an advantage, especially against the US, until 1933 when the US broke its old parity also. So gold did not cause the Great Depression. If anyone ever says that to you, refer them to this video and use the examples that I've shared with you here. But what actually did cause the Great Depression was a politically calculated gold price and an incompetent discretionary monetary policy. For a functional gold standard, gold cannot be undervalued like the United Kingdom in 1925 and the world today. When gold is undervalued and bank money, paper notes, are overvalued, the result is deflation. Exactly what we're seeing today, which we have seen since 2008. A gold standard can work absolutely fine for as long as the governments set gold's price on an analytical basis rather than a political basis. So there you have it. I hope you got value. If you did, feel free to like, comment, share. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and check out my website, goldfinancial.de. Go ahead and register yourself for a free account over there. Start accumulating small amounts of gold and protect yourself from what is inevitably going to happen, and that is the collapse of fiat currencies. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.